Mo, you mentioned culture over the last 70 years, and I really want to unpack this in a little more detail and how it applies to children especially. Now, the conspicuous consumption era it's everywhere now.
Yeah.
You're in your book, this story that Mo teaches you about is that very financially successful and oh, you answered a question.
Well, I was just going to ask, can I get them?
So financially successful, and then the process of wanting to, you're in Dubai. Dubai, I don't know how many of you have been to Dubai, but when you're in Dubai, you see extraordinary wealth in Dubai. And you go, with a couple clicks, I'm gonna buy a Rolls Royce. And the moment the Rolls Royce landed, you weren't any happier. And this sort of consumptive process of, I don't wear jewelry, and I don't want to wear jewelry. I don't like the vibe. Other people like the vibe, and they can choose that to be their vibe. But there's a certain reason for that. And I think that there is some sort of a process of consumption that we get used to. Once you get a one-bedroom apartment, you want a two-bedroom apartment, then you want three, then you want a house, then you want two cars, not just one car. So what do we do? Because so much of the culture around us is pushing these milestones in our face. What do we do in return?
You find out what you really want. How many of us actually spend time to introspect and say, okay, that didn't work? The idea of consuming so much is because we have been taught that material possessions are going to make us happy. So you buy a car, and for somewhere around 20 to 70 seconds, you go like, I made it, right? And then you sit behind the wheel, and regardless of what car it is, what do you look at? You look at the road, right? It doesn't really matter at all which car you are in, unless it serves your ego, right? Which basically is the reason why people buy expensive cars. It's like to tell the rest of the world that you made it. Now, I will tell you, hands down, if you really have made it, you will realize that this urge goes away. It's like, unless you haven't made it, and so you're trying to lie to the world, and I might as well tell you, save your money until you make it, right? But that's not the point. The point is, we're consuming because of a vicious circle. We buy something, it gives us that jolt of happiness for 20 seconds, and then it goes away. And we start to say, instead of saying that whatever it is that we bought has no inherent value of happiness in it, we say, it's because we didn't buy the right one, right? If I buy a better car, I'll probably find happiness there, right? So you buy a better car, and then you just get that jolt for 60 seconds, and then you go like, it went away because it's not red. If I bought it in red, I would be happier, right? And you keep chasing and chasing, surprisingly stupid enough to never stop and say, is happiness not found in cars? Like, seriously, when I was a child, lying on my back, I didn't have a car, and I was happy, right? So is happiness not found there? And when you make that just little pause to think, suddenly you realize what it is that's not serving you in life.